Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday morning. All right. So in your life, who's in control of it? Honest question, okay? And I know everybody on face value is going to go, well, I'm in charge of my life. Are you? Let me ask you this. In life, who do you trust? Do you trust corporate America? You know, the organizations that hire foreign workers over America, that relocate businesses overseas and cost you your job, that have executives that are making hundreds of millions of dollars a year while you're scraping by. Do you trust the American banking system or the worldwide banking system for that matter? You know, closing branches around the country, now you have to drive an hour to go to your bank, okay? Or can't seem to manage how to keep your money safe because, we made a bunch of bad investment choices and we're broke. We don't have your paycheck anymore. Or who is all in favor of all these raising interest rates, so now you can't buy a home or buy a car. Do you trust the FBI? After all, they're more concerned about school board meetings than they are terrorists, that they walk around trying to entrap Americans into crimes all over the place. Let's take a look at the Patriot Front running around Nashville this week, right? Okay. Feds. Do you trust the Justice Department? Just give you this one. Who's incarcerated 4 times as many Black Americans during the Biden presidency than they did during the Trump presidency. Remind me again, which party's the party of racism? Okay. Or believes, Justice Department believes that in the mantra of find me a man and I'll find the crime, the Lenin-esque, Stalin-esque ideals. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Do you trust the media, who's lied to you for years about the president's health, who lied to you for years about COVID, who lies to you daily about the crime in the United States, who lies to you about Israel and Ukraine, but yet who controls your life? Okay. Do you trust the CDC, who told you the arm ticket was safe? Who told you that your food isn't tainted? Who told you that a highly processed food diet is healthy? Right? You need to eat these starches and all this sort of stuff. All those sugary cereals are good for you, right? And we have a country that's 80% of the people are overweight and nearly 50% of them are considered obese. Got it. Do you trust the Department of Transportation, who can't keep the roads and bridges from falling apart, even though they recently got $550 billion to fix them? I haven't seen any repairs done. Has planes falling out of the sky, or parts of them at least, people dying. Boeing just had a settlement for all the people that have died on these 737s because the planes fell out of the sky and crashed. Boeing's paying less for all those people that died than Trump had to pay a fine for how much he values his house. Okay, got it. Okay. You still trust the Department of Transportation, who can't seem to keep trains on the tracks without blowing up? Right, East Palestine? Okay. How about social media? Where it's perfectly acceptable to call for assassinations, where it's perfectly acceptable to post porn that your kids have easy access to, where it's perfectly acceptable to promote some of these deadly challenges that your kids get involved in and all of a sudden wind up injured or dead, okay? But, God forbid if you mention an alternate idea to the narrative. Do you trust the public school system, where we have Major cities in this country where not a single kid can read or do math at grade level, where they teach the kids to hate America, where they want to convert your child to a different gender and not tell you. Do you trust a government where people get fabulously wealthy without ever doing anything, without even knowing the stuff they're talking about? Where they spend your money without your approval? Where they lie to you daily? Where they believe you should work, but they should be the ones that get paid? Right, France? You guys just elected yourself a 90% tax rate. Congratulations, that $100,000 a year job or €100,000 job you have, you get to keep 10,000 of it. The other 90,000 goes to the government, right? You see, this is the thing. We don't need just a new president or a new Congress or something like that. We need a new set of values in this country, in this world. Or maybe better off, we need a set of values, period. Okay. Wouldn't it be nice if your kids could go outside and play without you worried about them getting kidnapped? Okay. Or there wasn't a constant risk of us getting into another war. If you could walk the streets without worrying about getting shot, stepping on a pile of shit, having somebody come up to you and begging you for money, and if you don't give it to them, pull a gun on you. Wouldn't it be nice if we lived in a world where people actually respected each other? How about if just overall life was affordable? Wouldn't that be nice? I'd say so. I certainly think it would. Except here's the problem. That's never happened in the history of mankind. Ever. Maybe there was a day or something like that, but never has any society ever been like that, okay? Utopia does not exist. I don't care if it's democracy, constitutional republic, theocracy, communism, socialism, democratic socialism, whatever, okay? There is no utopia. Nothing is perfect. Human nature takes it out, okay? Everybody has problems. Every person, every household, every city, every state, every country. It ain't possible to get rid of all the problems, but it is possible to insulate yourself from them, okay? It is possible to make things in your home, in your community, in your country better. You just got to put the effort in, okay? You got to want it bad enough. Many, many, many people, including me, have come from bad situations and made their lives better. Matter of fact, everyone I know and have ever known has had bad situations in their life. Some chose to make it better. Some chose to wallow in self-pity for their entire life. 50% of this country is divorced. There's a lot of people who got through it, got past it, moved on, and rebuilt their life. People have filed bankruptcy. People have lost jobs. People have gone through all sorts of things that we call SHTF. And some people have got through it. Other people took the coward's way out. Some committed suicide. Some drank themselves to death. Some turned to drugs. Some turned to crime, whatever, okay? But a lot of people dug their way out of that hole. We all get into trouble. We all have problems. There's not a single person in the world that can ever say, gee, my life has been easy. It's been just a nice smooth ride from birth to death. Doesn't happen that way, okay? But to get there, it takes effort. It takes making sacrifices. It takes opening your eyes, your ears, your mind, okay? It takes doing for yourself and not always counting on somebody else to be there to help you. You know, sure, there's things you can't do. I get that. There's things I can't do. Nobody's going to go out and perform surgery on themselves. But the problem that we have in the world right now is the overall mentality is everybody expects somebody else to do it for them. And they expect they're just going to sit on the front porch swing, sipping on their lemonade, and, oh, somebody will bring me dinner, Uber Eats, okay? Somebody will pay my bills, welfare. Somebody will make my life better. Somebody will do it all for me. Life doesn't work that way, okay? Nobody ever got rich working for somebody else, okay? Period. Simple as that, okay? What you have to do is figure out how to do it yourself. So, why can't you raise your own food? Why can't you generate your own power? Why can't you teach your children as opposed to letting some blue-haired moron in the public school system teach them? Why can't you start your own business? See, the people that do that become independent are the ones who are truly wealthy. Now, I'm not talking about just financially. It could certainly be in happiness, okay? Having a lot of money and being miserable, not a great life. Having a little bit of money and being happy, that's a good life. The whole world wants to judge everything on how much stuff you have. I hate to tell you this. You can't take any of it with you. Sure, you can drive a Chevy, you can drive a Cadillac. Tell you what, both of them will get you to the grocery store and back. Not everybody has a loving spouse, loving children, good friends. Which person's happier? The person with the Cadillac who comes home to an empty house, or the person with the Chevy who comes home to a spouse, kids, friends, that sort of stuff? Who's wealthier? Okay. Like I said before, nobody ever got rich in here working for somebody else. No one's ever been happy being a slave to somebody else, be it a boss, be it the bank, be it any organization, okay? Yes, I support Donald Trump. Am I a slave to whatever Trump says I do? Nope. I don't agree with everything he says. The difference is I don't agree with anything that Biden says. So yeah, okay? I'm in the camp, but I'm still independent. He's not telling me what to do, okay? A lot of people at all that are telling me what to do. Ask Mrs. P. But that's the thing. You need to be an individual. You need to stand up for what you believe in, okay? You need to make something happen. Nobody's going to make it happen for you. Unfortunately, I hate to tell you this, all you immigrants coming in, all you welfare queens out there that think, hey, nothing, I'm just going to sit back and do this. No. You're never going to have the wealth that others have, the happiness, the faith, even the money, unless you make something happen, unless you go do it. Change your world first before you try to change the rest of the world. I'll give you this. Use one of the 21st century's biggest laughingstocks, Greta Thunberg. Okay, she's out trying to change the world. Answer me this. I think she's got a net worth of like $18 million too, something like that. Okay, have you ever seen a picture of her smiling? No. She's a miserable little twit because she tried to change the world without ever changing herself first. Okay? When you walk your own path, you're the wealthiest person alive. Then, and only then, can you start to work to change the rest of the world. But it's got to start with you. You have to do something. And as preppers, maybe that means homeschooling our kids, or raising our own food, or building whatever. I mean, I don't care if it's a picnic table. I don't care if you decided to build your own house, okay? But you did it yourself. Many of you guys know this. I mean, I don't care if you restored a car, if you built a shed, remodeled the kid's bedroom. Every guy will say this at least. I can't speak for women because I've never been a woman. But you stand back and you look at something and you're proud of it because you did it. And I'll just give you this as an example. Look around your house, that room you remodeled. Maybe you repainted it or you re-drywalled it or whatever you did. And you look at that and there's pride in that because you did it. Now go into a different room where you didn't do anything in there. Is the feeling different? Because the guy who built the house put up the drywall and painted the walls. There's no pride in that. But when you do something, that's when you're happy. Because we are all individuals that collectively make a society. Leadership doesn't mean shit in Washington. Nothing. Because there is no leadership. You know, you have a whole bunch of people in there who are career grifters. You don't worship them. You don't, like you get so many people, oh my God, Whoopi Goldberg. I'd vote for Joe Biden if he was, pooping in his pants or, if he was a cadaver. Okay. That's worshiping a false god. There's one God. One. Okay. And he wants us all to be the best we can be individually.